everyone, Edna Kimble, Edna Sells, Century 21 Wright Real Estate, and welcome to today's episode, How to Real Estate. Today we are talking about who pays the realtor. Now, my topics I know are all over the place, but a lot of times the topic that we're discussing actually comes from you, the audience. People ask me questions, and when I've had the same question multiple times, I realize that there's probably more people out there who want to know it. So today we are discussing who pays the realtor, and I am going to give you some major points. I've got those here, so hopefully I'll stay within line. I do tend to go all over the place, so bear with me and let's discuss that. Okay, so who pays the realtor? The first thing that you need to know, the first pointer, is you don't actually pay anything up front. No out of pocket. If you're the seller and you are hiring a realtor, you don't pay anything up front or anything out of pocket. That's right. That's a pretty good deal. So basically what happens is you pay at the closing table. And so that right there covers you, and you can very easily negotiate that commission, which we're going to talk about as another point. Okay, the other item that you should know about regarding on real estate commission is you need to realize that you actually don't pay the realtor anything unless it closes. That is a big misnomer, and a lot of sellers say, well, how much am I going to pay? How much am I going to owe you if something happens and the home doesn't close? Unfortunately for me, nothing. Fortunately for you, it's nothing. So let me give you an example. If you list your home with me, we agree to an amount that you are going to pay me at closing, and then something happens and you're not able to sell that property, whether because of a home inspection or a title issue or something drastic changes on your side, then you will not pay me any commission because the home did not close. Now, there are exceptions to that rule. If I bring you a qualified buyer and you just simply choose to not sell, you could still owe some commission. But for the most part, you would not owe any commission if the home does not close. Okay? Now, another point that you should be aware of is commission is 100% negotiable. All realtors are self-employed. Even though we work under a brokerage and we're signed with the brokerage, every realtor is self-employed, and every realtor gets to determine what they're working for. Now, my brokerage, there is a minimum, and we're not allowed to work below that specific minimum. But again, every brokerage is different. It's actually illegal for several brokerages to get together and determine what the bottom number is or what the top number is. Absolutely 100% illegal. And that's why if you ever go attend a real estate conference, no one will be discussing commissions. It's definitely a good way to lose your license and to get into a lot of trouble. Okay, so 100% negotiable. So when you go to interview a realtor, honestly, that's probably one of the top questions that I get when people say, hey, I want to talk to you about listing my home. Immediately they say, hey, before you come out, what do you charge? Here's the thing, guys, it's negotiable. It depends on the property, it depends on the seller, it's not a flat fee, and it depends on what services you're actually wanting, okay? Now, I think the most important rule is to keep in mind you get what you pay for. That's right. If you hire a realtor who you negotiate heavily with and you get them to take a pittance for commission, then you need to really think about a couple of things. One, how hard are they really going to work if they took below average commission? Two, if that's how they negotiated for themselves, for their money, how well are they going to negotiate for your money? And I think that's a very, very important topic that you need to delve into and really, really think about. Are you looking for a Pinto, a Ford Pinto, or are you looking for a Lamborghini? And sometimes you might want to land somewhere in the middle. Now, as far as what do you get for the commission, Again, because all realtors are self-employed, it will vary so much. And so it's important for you to think about what are the items that are important to you, and then ask for the realtor to outline exactly what they're doing. Now, typically the standard is you get some photos put online, you get posted to MLS and a couple of other sites, and you get some signage. Maybe you also get a lockbox. Now, there is definitely, that's the Ford Pinto. And yes, you should get a cut rate, a commission amount. The problem with that is, again, we've already discussed, they're probably not going to negotiate for you very well. They're probably not going to be available after hours. And all of these things can add up to a lowball offer on your property. So make sure you understand what you're getting. A couple of things that I would suggest you ask: are you going to get professional grade photos, 50 or more? Are you going to get drone footage? Are you going to get videos, and more videos? That's right, videos are so important. If your realtor that you've hired or that you're contemplating hiring does not have a strong video presence on social media, you really need to rethink that. I'm serious. Social media accounts for about 75% of all inquiries on real estate at this moment. So be sure that your realtor has a strong profile or presence on social media. A few other things that you should ask the realtor: are they geotagging the property? Have they ever heard of geotagging? Are they reverse marketing? And then also, what are their numbers? How many homes have they sold? And then who do they have as their backup when they're not available? Do they have a full-time assistant? Do they have a marketing person? Do they have staff that is going to help them promote your property and make your property be seen by all buyers that are ready, willing, and able to purchase? So just some things that if you are negotiating the commission, you need to think about. If you're getting a cut rate commission, then chances are you're not getting any of those items. And in this ever constantly changing and constantly shifting market, it's really important that you're getting all of the options to get your property out in front. Now, there's still a few neighborhoods, cookie cutter homes, that if everything is pristine, it's going to sell regardless of what you're paying the commission. The difference, though, is, again, you're most likely going to have less communication and not really understand where you're at in the process and what's going on. Because honestly, communication is something that you're paying for also. And if you're paying a cut rate commission, then you're probably going to get cut rate communication. Okay, so I'm going to take a peek here at my notes and make sure that I'm staying on task. Let's see, social media presence. Let's talk about that. When you're discussing the social media presence, or when you're investigating the realtor before hiring them, you need to go and check them out on all platforms. Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Google My Business? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? And are they on TikTok? Now, I know you're all saying, well, I don't have TikTok and I'm not going to do TikTok. Guys, that is such a mistake. If you're a realtor and you're refusing to do TikTok, that's like refusing to do Facebook. Seriously, it is so important. I can absolutely state that I have had several sales and listings from TikTok. So whether you're the funny dancing realtor or more of just the educational realtor, I kind of fall somewhere in the middle myself. It's really an important thing to do for that listing, to make sure you're getting it out in front of as many people as possible. Also, each one of those sites allow you to do research, or I'm sorry, to do searches. So a buyer may go into one of those, maybe a buyer who lives in Washington State that is being transferred here for one of the government businesses, or for one of the hospitals, or even for our college. We have a lot of out-of-state people transfer for those industries. Sometimes they will go on to their favorite social media platform and do a search, Tahlequah Real Estate, 10 Killer Lake Homes, those types of things. So if you're not utilizing these platforms, you're really, really missing the boat. Now, as far as the seller who's looking to hire a realtor, this is why it's important that you check out their social media and see if they actually have a presence and if they understand the importance of it. Okay, so the last thing I think that we need to discuss is real estate commissions specifically. So again, as I've said, it's illegal for the industry to determine what the minimum is and what the maximum is. Some brokerages, even though their contractors are independent, they will state if you want to put your license under, Century 21 or XYZ Real Estate, you have to charge a minimum of. And that's completely legal and completely acceptable. Then the actual realtor themselves get to determine where they're going to fall. So on average, again, not required, but on average, real estate commission in our market or in our county ranges anywhere from 5% to 7%. If it's commercial, sometimes it's even higher because the cost of marketing those properties can be quite expensive. So knowing as you're going in what's normal and what's acceptable, and then what are you getting if you're paying one of the higher fees or toward the higher end? Because believe it or not, that 0.25% can make a huge difference on what you're actually getting, how many people are seeing your property, and then ultimately how well the property is being negotiated or the offer is being negotiated, so that ultimately more money ends up in your pocket. So please don't get hung up on how much the realtor is making. Get hung up on how much value you're getting for what you're agreeing to pay the realtor. That's really the important aspect of it. And as always, Google everything. Unfortunately, people can tell you that they're doing things such as selling hundreds of homes a year, but unless you're actually seeing social proof and know that that's happening, it's really best to go ahead and Google it. When you are interviewing that realtor or considering hiring a realtor, again, don't get hung up on the actual commission, but do get hung up on just what is their social presence. When you check them out in their market, are they a top player, and are they going to provide you with some of these items that we've discussed? As always, I hope that you give us a call and give us the opportunity to visit with you and to review your property and let us show you what we can do for you. But if you choose not to hire us, be sure and choose smart, because in the end, it will pay dividends to your wallet rather than the realtor's. Okay, I hope this helped everyone. If you have any questions about this episode, please feel free to reach out. Or if you've got a burning question that you would like the answer to, who knows, maybe I'll make it an episode. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.